Hi everybody, welcome. Today I'm going to totally jump into experimental mode. We're going to do hard edge painting, but I'm going to try some new and different things. I've done hard edge painting before with painter's tape and acrylic, but I'm going to try with gouache, which is like an opaque watercolor. So I've got some little tubs of gouache, a brand new set that I haven't used yet. And instead of painter's tape, I'm going to use washi tape. And I am going to create some papers on glossy magazine pages. I just pulled a few papers out of National Geographic, and so I'm going to work on this glossy paper to make some collage fodder using a hard edge technique. So the first thing I want to do is take my washi tape, and I'm going to create a design on this glossy magazine page. And I'm not going to use it all. I'm going to tape off the area that I'm going to apply paint in. I'm pressing the tape down really well because that's where hard edge painting gets its name. You want that nice, sharp, hard edge along the edge of the tape when you pull it off. And you'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. Like I said, this is experimental. I've had this set of gouache for a while and just opening it up, and I am experimenting with using the washi tape for this technique. So I'm going to create some triangles. And press that down really good, especially the edges. And now I'm just going to apply paint in those intersections there and see how that all goes. So I'm going to do, these come in little pots. I'm going to do some blue on this green. It's a very creamy consistency. You can absolutely use acrylic or any paint that you want. This just goes on really nice and smooth, nice even coverage. So I want to paint over those edges of the washi tape. See how nice and opaque that is? That's gorgeous. All right, so I'm just going to do the blue. I had tubes of gouache that I hadn't used in a few years and pulled them out for a project a couple weeks ago, and they were just a mess. They were all separated, and they're all they're all going in the trash. So these little pots are they're sealable, and with gouache, like I said, it's like watercolor. So if it does dry out, you can reconstitute it with a little spritz of water. And let me see, I'm going to do a different color for that section. I'll go with this nice teal. I've got a little water on my brush, so that's why that's going on not as opaque, but you can layer it. You can continue to layer it. If it dries and you don't like it, you can go over it again. But I'm putting this on pretty thick, and then I'll set that one aside and let it dry. And do a couple others. I'm just thinking going over these magazine pages will be fun to have little sections of the picture showing through the tape where the paint goes. And just make sure you press your tape down, no matter what kind of tape you're using. If you're using painter's tape, do the trick where you stick the tape to your jeans or your shirt or something like that, so it doesn't pull the paper up when you're done. But I think on the glossy magazine page, we should be okay. All right, I'm going to do some yellow with the blue of these mountains. And I'm trying different brushes to see what kind of effect I'm going to get. I really do want it to be kind of solid and opaque. The other thing about gouache is it's got kind of a flat finish. So that's kind of different from the plasticky look of acrylic. This looks like it needs to be stirred up a little bit, so that might be why it's not going on real opaque. You've got the brush strokes. We didn't see those in the other colors. But anytime you get new paints, I recommend you go through and make swatches so that you see how the paint reacts and how it mixes. You can mix gouache with other colors of gouache, so you can lighten it and darken it, tone it down. I'm gonna leave it like that and let that dry. And we'll do one more. I thought that was kind of fun. Where's my washi tape? The waves. So I'm just going to do a little section here. And keep in mind, I'm just doing this to make some collage fodder. I'm going to, once these dry and I pull the tape up, I'm going to, be cutting it into, or tearing it into pieces and using it to make a little collage. Okay, and let's see what other, got this light green. Let me grab another brush here. And this looks like it needs to be just stirred up a little bit, separates when it's sitting. Water cleanup, it's water soluble, can be reactivated with water, but it goes on so creamy and opaque with that nice matte finish. So these bright colors are just really going to pop, I think. Really happy with the coverage of some of these colors. This green is just, you know, put it down and it totally covers. All right, I'm gonna let that dry as well. And then we're gonna come back, peel off the tape, and see where we are with our hard edge painting technique using gouache and washi tape. And we are back. My gouache is dry, and so now I'm going to peel off the washi tape and see how my hard edge painting turned out. So you want to be kind of gentle as you're peeling. And if you can try to peel one piece at a time, you're going to probably get a little more control. Like I said before, this was a total experiment. You can, of course, use acrylic. You can use painter's tape. And, of course, you can do your hard edge painting on any kind of paper, any kind of surface. I used gouache and washi tape on glossy magazine pages. Gouache because it's kind of flat and opaque. And I think I'm going to be pretty happy with the results here. Of course, you could do this hard edge technique as the background for a mixed media piece. In my case, I'm just creating papers that I'm going to use in collage. So just small little bits that I'm also going to cut up when I go to use them. So that's the first one. I think that looks pretty cool. Let's see how I put this one together. The washi tape seems to work really well for this. It's coming up really easily, which is great. Oops. So I wouldn't say this is perfect by any means, but if you want to add, you know, some strong geometric color blocks to a piece, oops, that didn't come out real well. This might be a technique you want to play around with or modify. The washi is pulling up a little bit of this green from the magazine. It's not bothering me too much. Oops. Oops. You heard me say oops a few times here as the tape tears, but I will manage to get it all up and leave that nice hard edge shape. For the first time out, I'm pretty happy with how these have turned out. Like I said, first time using this new set of gouache paint and first time trying this technique with the washi tape. The gouache did seem to flake a little bit as I was pulling up the tape, so I don't have super clean edges on all of them. This one turned out really well. So I'm going to use these 3 pieces here as a background for my little mini collage mixed media. Just colorful background. I'm going to cut them into some shapes, glue it down, and probably add a little focal point. Small little substrate here, so I'm just going to cut. Maybe something like that for the background. Glue that down, and I'm going to add a person as a focal point with this kind of fun, colorful geometric pattern as my background. Something like that. I'll trim that a bit. I cut out this guy. I think I'm gonna put him, right about there. So I'm gonna glue him first and then trim the bottom off so I get him exactly where I want him. Okay, so this is my little mixed media collage, 5" by 5" on watercolor paper. And the background is National Geographic pages with a hard edge painting technique using gouache paint and washi tape.